thing, we had a school. In the school we had a courtyard, and in the courtyard it was about who is the most famous people in the school. So it was either a girl or a boy, and there was always, you know, oh yeah, who's famous? You know, I'm with that famous girl. And as we growing, you know, it's small bar, but who is the famous I want to be? You know, who is that superstar? Who is that celebrity? Who is that icon I want to be? And then all your life is more or less, what is my purpose in life and where I'm going to go? And being famous actually is something that is not easy at all. And if you go back in time and you go back in the 1500, things were pretty much Machiavelli. So what that means is that if you're really popular and you're not friend with the king, you're just going to chop your head. So being famous was actually really hard. And nowadays we're kind of lucky because it's a lot easier since we're more cosmopolitan, but still, the future is hard to predict in terms of who's going to be famous tomorrow and who's going to be famous, well, you know, like in 10 years or whatnot. It's not something you can bet on. Think about Harry Potter or whatnot. These things were not from the start saying, okay, you know, this is my first book, it's going to be popular. No, 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 it took a while. And if you look at all these people, it's all people that fail. So as Oscar was saying earlier, you have to fail a lot before you succeed. And these people actually failed for more than 10 years, like each of them, before actually being starting to get known. So you really have to believe into what you're doing. You really have to believe into where you want to grow. And obviously at one point, well, you know, you're gonna get shot. So here's Andy Warhol, who got shot 3 times trying to shoot a model, and of course there was a lot of drugs involved and whatnot. But yeah, this quote was really good, which is, in the future, everyone will have their 15 minutes of fame. That's kind of where we're at today. But still, you know, you're not always, you know, famous for all the good reasons. And the thing is that even if you're famous all around the world, it doesn't even change anything to your situation. Sometimes being famous sucks, because even if everyone knows you, nothing happened. And it's something to always remember, is that you have to be famous for all the good things. And as things progress, you have to understand in your brain what is the good thing about being famous. And you have to understand it's not about what you are doing, but about why you are doing it. And why you're doing an action, why are you sharing, why are you participating into something. And that way you can actually influence the people around you and then get famous for all the good things. And being famous and believing into, it's all about the MacBook from Apple. So why? This thing is a computer, yes, but before that, it's actually a really good design, a really good sleek, lightweight MacBook and whatnot, and then after that, it happens to be a really good computer. So the why reason is more important than what it is. And if you go back in time again, when one of the first games was ever published, it was not about like, oh, what it is, oh, it's a game you can play, you know. No, why would you do that? Oh, I can play with someone else, I can beat someone else. And that's really the competition where it started, where, oh, you're really good at it, you know, who's the best at that game? Oh, it's that guy, becomes to be famous. And even in sport nowadays, it's actually really hard to get that little blips of time and beat the world record of running, but it's still possible. And there's still always something, even if something has been done many times, it's still possible to go over it and be better at it and be the #1. So never think that you're not able to do it. And as the Wright brothers, there was 5 teams around the world that were trying to be the #1 at flying an airplane. And these guys actually didn't have any funding, any marketing, nothing at all. No one knew about that, but they were the first one to fly, just because they really wanted it inside of themselves. And it took 2 weeks before actually they got known around the world. And yes, we're all tribes nowadays. We're all connected. Everyone is together, and we thrive with passion. We want to go forward in life, and we want to succeed. And that way is we are in a moment in time where things will be held together. And as Facebook, for example, you had not too long ago 1 billion people using the same service in the same day. This is amazing. This means that you can have one message cross around 1/6 of the whole population of the world, a bit less, and this never happened before. So it's the first time that you can actually share something. And then again, even if you're famous, there's still going to be copies everywhere, and there's still going to be like the same thing but with different tastes. And who is the good one in there? And how can you make yourself distinguished from all the others? And the answer is pretty clear. and it has to be in the mind of some marketers out there. It's all about boobies. And so even if the game sucks and whatnot, and it's not all the other games, the only way for you to be known worldwide is to put boobies. And then if you have boobies, then the boobies factor starts everywhere. And then we come up with all those amazing services out there so that we can share our games and stuff. And what we find everywhere is more boobies. So as you think about it, you have Twitch, which is an amazing system to share about what's happening inside your game. It's good marketing. And then of course, as a personal, sometimes I want to see, I want to get to know myself. And then of course, what you see is what works. And never forget that if your thing is the same as everything else. And think about it, how it's going to be with augmented reality. You know, augmented reality with boobies is going to be amazing, right? And then how it's going to be leaderboard. And augmented reality brings something that's totally new. We went from something that was physical to something that's virtual, something that's oblivionous, and coming back to the human world, which is, you know, yeah, there's PewDiePie now, but yeah. So being human is extremely important, and that's the thing with PewDiePie is someone that is really you know, is himself, is pronouncing everyone, doesn't care, just going on forward. This is how to do games. I'm going to do everyone. And yes, this is what it is. You have actually to be the number one. You have to be showing everywhere what your game is and where you're going at. And if you think about the eSport League, now you have a bit more than 300 million people that's watching that every single week. So now the game is going back to the humanity. You have to take it, you can take the flame and go forward.